Now, scores of travelers remain stranded at airports as flights to the Middle East are disrupted due to airspace closures. Our reporters Zola, Sholwana and Nasiphi are stationed at O.R.Tambo International Airport and the Cape Town International Airport to monitor those travelers. Now, air travel has been disrupted as the closure of UAE airspace has affected flights operated by Emirates and Qatar Airways into South African airports. Airports Company South Africa says the impact is being felt at the O.R.Tambo, Cape Town and King Shaka international airports. So far, 8 flights have been cancelled at O.R.Tambo, 7 outbound and 1 inbound, while Cape Town International and King Shaka airports have reported 4 and 2 delays respectively. Newzroom Afrika Zola Sholwana is at the O.R.Tambo tracking that story live for us. Zola, very good morning to you. So 8 flights had been cancelled at the O.R.Tambo International Airport. How stranded are passengers that were making their way to the Middle East?
Well, Katleho, when we arrived here, we expected to see this part of the airport where there are Emirates desks to be buzzing with activity, because that is what we usually see on a daily basis, where you have people that are traveling to, Dubai. But that has not been the case today, as we understand that flights to Dubai are currently cancelled. Now, as we were just walking by, looking at, people that are using Qatar Airways traveling to the Middle East, as we understand that is where they usually get their connecting flights to respective countries. We found one of the travelers who has a family that is in Dubai, and he is hoping that the status of his flight could possibly change today. So thank you very much for your time. It must be quite distressing for you, understanding that you're seeing everything that's happening on the news, and your family is in Dubai and you're here.
Yeah, so generally my family is okay. I'm talking to them currently. They're in the supermarket and chilling. But of course, for me, I'm stuck in South Africa. I'm not actually there to be with them. So, of course, I'm Filipino. We don't really deal with these kinds of things on a daily basis. As far as the Philippines is concerned, we're more concerned with who wins, Miss Universe. So we've never actually been dealing with bombings or anything like that. So, of course, I'm here away from my family. I'm pretty anxious about it. And their state and everything. But I know Dubai, the Dubai government is doing a good job on security and everything, so I have a lot of confidence in them. Yeah.
And I mean, you are here with your luggage bag. This shows that you're ready to travel.
Yes.
And I see the status of your flight says it's cancelled. Were you here yesterday? Is it the second time you're trying?
I was here yesterday. I was supposed to fly out to Dubai last night, but of course it was cancelled. Now I'm trying again. Right now it's cancelled as well, so I'm trying to see if they can rebook my flight once the airspace in Dubai opens. Yeah.
And I mean, if this is something that will take place for over a week, right, where does that leave you?
Well, I do have a place to stay in George. I've got some good friends there. I have my foster mother, something like that. So I'll be heading there. But for now, I'll keep trying to get back to Dubai. I really want to be with my family. Being Filipino, I'm not from Dubai, I'm not from South Africa. It leaves me better choices to actually be there. Yeah.
And as you've been seeing videos that are circulating on social media of missiles and of course, tweets that come from President Donald Trump, right, the fact that, they are ready for anything that is coming. How does that make you feel, understanding that your family is there and there has been videos of some parts of Dubai being destroyed by missiles?
Right, yeah, it is pretty scary. As I said, I'm Filipino. In the Philippines, we don't deal with these kinds of things. We're pretty chill over there. So, of course, I'm pretty scared. But the thing is, I place a lot of trust in the government of Dubai. They've been doing a great job for the past couple of days. Leadership is very strong. Security is very good. So, my family, they're chilling. They're relaxed. They're not afraid. But the thing is, they do hear a lot of explosions, which is, of course, scary. But the thing is, they do get a lot of updates that everything is okay, basically. They hear these things, their missiles being intercepted and everything. So, yeah, defense, security, everything Dubai is doing a great job. Yeah.
Okay, so where to from now? Are you going by the Emirates desk to maybe find out if they can rebook you, or are you going back home and we'll come back tomorrow again to try?
Yeah. So now I'm heading to the Emirates counter. I'm gonna try and see what they can do for me. Possibly bring me back home, or let's see. I'm not really sure about what they can do as of the moment, because I don't think they have much information as of now. Because not even the I mean, I guess not even work. I mean, not even Dubai has proper forecasts for this right now. So I'll just see what they can do, and yeah.
Thank you very much for your time. Let's allow you to go to the Emirates desk so you can continue. Now, Katlacha, I just want to show you that, under normal circumstances, as I have said, the Emirates check-in counters are usually bustling with activity. You find long queues of passengers waiting patiently with luggage trolleys, families preparing for holidays, and business travelers, checking documents before boarding overnight flights to Dubai and beyond. We also know that Qatar Airways, their desks as well typically handle a steady stream of passengers connecting through Doha to destinations across Asia, Europe, and North America. However, at this present moment, the scene at the airport, this week paints a starkly different picture. Instead of crowded queues, only airline help desk officials remain stationed behind the counters. Katlacho, back to you in studio.
One can only imagine, Zola, the economic impact this is going to have on many of these airlines. But of course, like you say, it's going to take for the rest of the week for us to see how some of those developments are rolling out, particularly between the US, Iran, and of course, the rest of the Middle East. Let's now take you to Cape Town at the international airport, where flights have been impacted by the US Israel strikes on Iran. We have Nasiphi, who is standing by to bring us the latest with regards to what are the scenes there. Very good morning to you, Nasiphi. As we heard from Zola, some of those counters that often are quite filled with people that are traveling to the Middle East are now standing empty. What are the scenes like at the Cape Town International Airport?
What I'll tell you, Katlacho, is that at the Cape Town International Airport, we have similar scenes, both at the Qatar and Emirates counters. We are starting to see passengers approaching or arriving at the airport, approaching the various counters. One is assuming to ask for more information, as we know that in Cape Town, according to the board that is up, that the flight to Dubai and Doha have been cancelled, and that is a result of the conflict that is currently unfolding thousands of kilometers away. However, that particular impact is also felt in Cape Town. But we do have guests, travelers, who are supposed to be making their way out of Cape Town this afternoon and setting into, international airspace. However, they are at the airport. They've been here for, close to an hour to inquire, talk to us about, what time your flight was set to leave, depart Cape Town, but also your interaction with the help staff.
So our flight was supposed to be for 22:02, and we kind of just checked out just before we came. We checked on the Emirates app to see if our flight is still cancelled or if it's going to be going ahead, and our flight details still say going ahead. But everything else was obviously telling us, no, it's going to be cancelled, and especially after this morning's news of they actually bombed the airport. So we came through this morning just in the hope that maybe one of the partners maybe came through, but they said, unfortunately, their systems are shut down as well on our side, as well as they also don't know what's happening at the moment. They can't even tell us when to reschedule our flight because the unrest is just uncertain at the moment.
I mean, Aaron, is this a business trip or a personal trip?
This is actually our first international trip, or was supposed to be our first international trip for our anniversary coming up this week. So it's a little bit disappointing, but yeah.
I'll bring you in, Kelly. I mean, you are also, interacting with the staff, asking questions. We're hearing from Aaron now. But at some point you left Emirates and went to other airlines as well to just try and inquire what more can be done.
Yeah, so I went over to Singapore Airlines to see if they would be able to support us in maybe getting a flight either today or anytime soon in the week. They made us aware that we would need to contact our travel agency. Basically, they were not able to really support us with that at the moment, but we would need to do it on our end for the travel agency themselves.
I mean, one would firstly concern themselves about the financial implications of the cancellation, not even delay.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think with the financial implications, we obviously only planned for the trip that we're going on right now. So we'd have to go back to the drawing board to see what are the options that we have. Contact our insurance. Luckily, we have that as well. So see what they can do for us, and then hopefully take it from there.
I mean, this trip was a year in planning.
Yeah.
Your first trip as a couple together. Take us through your emotions. I mean, waking up today, hopeful, seeing the app that possibly there could be an opportunity for you guys to still travel.
Yeah, I think it was very much a roller coaster for this past week with everything that has been happening with the airport in Cape Town, as well as the flooding in Bali, because we are going to Bali, or we're hoping to go to Bali. And then with this happening as well, it's been a roller coaster of emotions. But I think there was still that little bit of excitement or that little bit of hope that we are going to go onto the flight. But yeah, with this happening, it might not happen today.
And I'll bring you in, Aaron, as well, just to add.
Yeah, so I mean, I would much rather be disappointed than fearing my life at the moment. So I can't even imagine how the people in Dubai is feeling, and not just Dubai, I mean everyone in the Middle East right now. I was actually saying we were meant to actually leave yesterday. So then this little birdie also told us maybe let's have a buffer day. And I can't imagine if we had to even leave yesterday or the day before even, we would be in that situation right now. But yeah, so.
Aaron, you were saying to us that, when the news broke yesterday, you thought about what it could possibly mean for your flight out today. And you've been monitoring the Emirates app.
Yes, so I have. So on the Emirates app, there was, like, you could see yesterday's cancellations, you can see today's flights, and maybe tomorrow if it's going to be on board or not. And this morning it was still showing on schedule. Although we've been getting updates from our agency, but they were saying that it's cancelled, but double check with your airline. But the airline was saying it's on track. So that's why we kind of still came through to double check from the horse's mouth itself that it definitely is cancelled. And I think today just kind of, this morning just kind of confirms that it's 100% cancelled. And we just need to see what other airlines we can maybe go with now. We still very much would like to go to Bali. Might not be today, but we're still looking at options in the week, if anything of the sorts.
Thank you so much. That is Kelly and Aaron there, Crowe. Set to travel this afternoon. My colleague just showing you visuals there of from counter 47 rather to counter 54. The counters there visibly empty, with just the staff that have left their posts, and on the other side now interacting with the passengers with their luggage here to inquire about their various flights. International flights have been disrupted, and in some cases, like the Cape Town International Airport, flights have been cancelled after escalating tensions in the region. And we do also know that the Cape Town Tourism has advised travellers to check directly with their airlines, travel agents or the airport before heading out, as schedules remain fluid and subject to change.
Right, Nasiphi Sami bringing us those updates coming from the Cape Town International Airport. Very similar scenes that we saw out of the O.R.Tambo International Airport. And of course, travellers quite disappointed, but also quite grateful that they don't find themselves in a situation where they are stranded in the Middle East.